What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Action Network podcast presented by DraftKings. I'm your host, Chris Raybon, and this is our NFL Week 4 betting preview. We're going to talk sides, we're going to talk totals, props, money line dogs, and of course, we're going to build our Sunday six-pack of best bets with the help of my co-host, the Prime Minister of Degenerate Nation, Stuckey. Nice week on the six pack last week. I got some work to do. You're up 12-6. Some crazy finishes to these games. Can't believe we lost the Rams 3.5, but good stuff for you last week.
Yeah, should have been a sweep. I tried to warn you about the Texans and the Vikings. I mean the Bengals, but the yeah, I haven't had I talk about this every week. Did I have a joyous weekend? Like I had a small winning week. Nothing joyous happens at the end of these games, so like it's just been like that for since the start of last year. So that eventually will flip, but like the Giants lose their kicker and then get to the 3 yard line and can't even get in the back door. But the Rams, like that's the worst beat probably I've ever had in the NFL in 20 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Up 26-7. I even called that the Eagles were going to go false start on their first tush push, which led to for 4 free points. They didn't call it. They were calling it on the Saints instead. The tush push false starts. The Eagles have to get the fourth down, of course, to take the lead and then block the field goal and then return it for no reason for a touchdown. Like the game's over, go down. Uh, that never ever happens on a blocked field goal. Up 26-7 and like yeah. Uh, that was the Eagles had 22 yards in the first half and the Rams plus 3.5 doesn't get there. They covered for 40 minutes and whatever seconds. So whatever. Uh, those things are gonna happen. Uh, I'm due for some joy, so I'm excited about the rest of the season. But there was no joy again this week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Ravens game wasn't too thrilling for you either. So yeah,
Yeah,
let's
Ravens have some issues right now. We'll get into later when we talk the Chiefs game, but let's dive right into the Sunday six pack for week 4. I'm up 12-6 for my first pick of the Week 4 Sunday six pack. I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons plus 1.5 is out there against the Washington Commanders. This is a like trifecta of spots that will almost always play. Dog off a shutout, 62% against the spread historically. Dog off a 30 plus point loss, 60% historically. Also applies to the Saints and Bengals for what it's worth. Uh, and the Falcons kind of had it was like a fluky game. You know, they outgained the Panthers by 100. Everything just went wrong. Penix had a terrible game. Do I still believe in Penix? Yes. I don't know why they're not throwing downfield. I don't know why he was so off last week, but it's one game. It's a guy who still hasn't started a full 16 games and a full season's worth of games, so he's gonna have those days. And then this is also about so not only am I buying low on the Falcons, but this is also about the Commanders' injury situation. I was already lower than them in the market. Like this is my price if both teams are fully healthy. Uh, so the Commanders, like I don't know if Daniels is going to play, and if he does, I don't think he's going to be fully mobile. I don't think McLaurin's going to play. Noah Brown's hurt. You have a bunch of defenders on IR, a bunch of starters. I think Amos, who's been really good as a rookie, you think he's going to play, but he was banged up. Butler was banged up. They signed Darnell Savage, who might have to start. I went back, watched a lot with Lattimore. I think he's washed so far from what I've seen. Might be wrong, but those wide receiver injuries are key with AJ Terrell potentially out again. So, yeah, give me the Falcons at home, bounce back spot after getting embarrassed as a home dog against a really beat up Washington team that I think Atlanta should be able to move the ball on. And this is always it's usually the desperation move when the coordinator comes from the booth to the field, and it's usually a bad sign. But I think it actually could help Atlanta because they have so many communication issues. Like I don't
Yeah,
know
you see
what's
them.
going on. I don't think
Yeah.
their headsets work. Like so. I don't know what's going on there. So if that can fix the communication, maybe that's actually a good thing. I still like what I've seen from this Atlanta defense overall with all of the rookies. I think they're only going to continue to get better. This is a team that's actually getting pressure. But yeah, with all these Commanders injuries, Falcons just desperation spot after a embarrassing loss at home. I think they get it done. So give me Atlanta.
Yeah, this is it's kind of ridiculous to have the Commanders as what are they being graded as? 3, 4 points, 3.5, 4 points better than the Falcons, which I think they're two mediocre teams right now. No, both of them will lay eggs at different points in the season. So yeah, I don't mind that at all. I'll probably join you for my first pick in the second overall of the week 4 Sunday six pack. I am going with the New York Giants plus 6.5 at home against the Los Angeles Chargers. And
Oh boy.
this is simple for me. Coming into the year, I thought the Giants were being a little undervalued in the market. And I mean, they lay an egg in week 1, they lay an egg in week 3, and they lose a tough one in week 2. But to your point,
I don't think they necessarily laid an egg last week. I mean, like both teams averaged 4 yards per play.
yeah,
Mahomes had 4 turnover-worthy plays without turning it over. Like, pick up the ball when Mahomes is throwing it backwards. They didn't have their kicker, which like just screwed so much. I don't think they laid an egg. I actually thought they played pretty well. Wilson was just
I
terrible.
mean, yeah, I should say Wilson. I mean, he's throwing into the tunnel and like, yeah, Wilson. We already talked about, with that heading into that Dallas game, how the Giants left massive amounts of points on the board for not being able to get in the into the end zone with goal to go twice, essentially 8 plays. And then, in this game, kind of the same situation. So now you're getting a Chargers team that's, yes, they've played some good defense, but they won 2 one-score games. The Raiders I mean, that game could have been a lot closer too. The Giants should have stayed close. If they have a better quarterback last week, they stay close. And I think one of the reasons is the Chiefs not a good running team, and the Chargers have struggled with that as well. And they're banged up on the offensive line even more than they were, coming into last week. So I'm just buying low here on the New York Giants. I think that Jackson Dart, it's all upside from here. With what are we getting? I mean, we're saying the Chargers are a good 7, 8 points better. Giants don't have much home field or anything like that, but we're saying the Chargers are a full touchdown better. It's 4 weeks into the season. They're banged up. And most importantly, the Giants and Dart and Daboll have Andrew Thomas back, and he makes a
Hopefully for
huge
a full
difference.
game. He only played.
Right?
That was another
Yeah,
thing that happened to the Giants. He only played the first half, which
yeah.
was
I
being
mean,
limited to a snap count. So I assume he goes the full way here because he looked good last week.
exactly. And I think that's probably part of the calculus. Like once they saw Russ just thrown into the tunnel, and they were like, all right, we got to start Dart next week, so we need Thomas for that. But you add Thomas to this team, Scatterboo's coming on. We know what Neighbors can do. I think Dart will unlock Slayton a little more because you're going to get more off schedule stuff. You could actually talk, or you could just, Wandale's been good running routes down the field. It's just, Russ he's not usually going to look at least this year, he wasn't looking into tight windows. I thought the Washington Commanders played a very good game plan against Wilson, and then the Cowboys just played a really kind of, I mean, it was because of injuries, but they kind of played a really stupid game plan against Russ, just the exact opposite of what the Commanders did, just all zone and no blitzing. And Russ cooked them. And then so I knew Spags was just kind of, all right, he's going to blitz. He's going to play man. That's what he did. And Russ turned into a pumpkin. So this Charger team, they usually play more straight up on early downs, and then they'll send some exotic pressures at you on late downs and things like that. But I think the Giants just coming in here with the, a little bit of uncertainty here, but more importantly, the mobile threat quarterback, a little more accurate, and just a guy who could kind of, I think, take him up and down the field. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants pull off the upset here, but I do think it's going to be a lot closer than people think either way. We've seen this Charger team do this, just play these one-score games over and over and over again. So I want to buy low here. Winless teams in week 4 are 54, 34, and 3 against the spread over the last 2 decades, 61%, 19% ROI.
Yeah, I'll be on this, sadly.
Yeah,
There's
it
also
is sad.
the uncertainty with Dart. Like the Chargers are a really well-schooled defense,
Yeah, they are.
and they don't really know, right? There's no tape on what this Giants offense will look like. You're probably going to get a lot more read option looks. Um, and like if the Chargers are coming here going up against Russ, like I would want no part of this. So that could work in your favor. Now, rookie quarterbacks in their first start during the season, rookie first round draft picks have historically not performed well against the spread. But yeah, I think this is a bit inflated. I think this should probably be closer to 4.5. I don't think it's a downgrade from Russ to now. There's more uncertainty. There's more variance. So there's more upside and there's more downside as well. It just could be a disaster. And Dart's going to have to be patient at times against this defense that does make you work for things, and tries to take away the deep ball. But Bo Nix, a guy who can do some off-schedule stuff, he had wide open guys last
Yeah, yeah.
against the Chargers. But the key here, the absolute key, is there's like 4 or 5 teams that can wreck a game with their pressure. The Giants are one of them. And their secondary's better. Like Flott is he's playing well and he's a big upgrade over Banks. Newman and Holland have upgraded their safety room. And Carter looks good. Like they can even play him at linebacker with all their injuries and he looks good. But the Giants are one of those teams, and they should have wrecked the game against Mahomes last week. I mean, Mahomes is throwing it backwards a couple times if he like it. So, and this Chargers offensive line, it's not healthy. I don't think Becton's going to play. So you have Salier in there, and Pipkins was hurt. Pipkins allowed 9 pressures last week. Salier was getting pushed over like a rag doll. Like good luck against Dexter Lawrence. So the pressure just could be extreme for Herbert.
Outdoors, outdoors. After playing, he played in that that stadium that always goes over in week 1, and then 2 indoor games.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that the Giants' pressure and defense should keep them in here, and then you just have the uncertainty with Dart, which I'm willing to bet on. I haven't bet this yet. I mean, who's going to bet the Giants besides us? There's like
Yeah, we might get a
people.
7.
So I'm waiting to
Yeah.
see if we get a 7. Obviously, it won't matter for the contest, but that's what I'm waiting on. Um, like just browsing Twitter and stuff and talking to odds maker. Like, there's no bets on the Giants yet. So we'll see. There's a Jew. It's like there's some sixes. Like DraftKings is a 6, and there's no juice 6.5 anymore. So I don't think we're gonna get a 7, but never know. But I agree. I'll be honest with you. I didn't agree. I didn't like your picks this week. I love your picks this week. Uh,
I didn't like them either.
so all right, for my second pick and the third overall of the week 4 Sunday 6 pack, I'm going with the New England Patriots -5.5 at home against the Carolina Panthers. I, I just think I think it's a good spot to buy the Pats. I I assumed it was going to be a struggle early on. This is a whole new team, brand new staff, and like there's just been so many sloppy errors, and then there's just been bad luck. Like last week, there was 5 turnovers. They fumbled twice near the goal line. Uh, Everything that could have went wrong last week, but there's just been some sloppy play, some mistakes, some people not on the same page. But I think that'll continue to get better, and they have moved the ball. They've moved the ball every week, and I think that'll eventually. Look, they haven't played great defenses. They played the Raiders, they played the Steelers, and
Dolphins.
the Dolphins. Well, guess what? The Panthers are just as bad as all of those defenses. They move the ball up and down. The points should come eventually, just natural regression. And like this is the newest team in the league, new staff. So I think they have few games under their belt. Desperation spot. Should have won last week. By the way, the Panthers talked about it like just a game where everything snowballed on the Falcons. Dogs off of a shutout win are 15, 26, and 2 against the spread, 36.6%. And if you
Panthers won a big game last week. Last year, I think it was week 3, right, against the Raiders, and then didn't win again for like 10
yeah.
weeks or something. Yeah, it's always this is their one win.
So if you remove turnovers and just look at non-garbage time, the Patriots offense is 7th in EPA per play, 12th in success rate. Panthers, 28th in EPA per play, 30th in success rate. You got to remember, this is a team that was down like 20 to Arizona and then put up a bunch of numbers against Arizona going super soft on D. And the Patriots' biggest issues, here's why I really like it. The Patriots' biggest issue has been their new O-line, right? 28th in pass block win rate. The rookies on the left side. Well, the Panthers can't generate pressure. They're 28th in pass block win rate on the defensive side. And then the Patriots secondary, 30th in pass success rate. Well, the Panthers, 30th in pass success rate in non-garbage time. Panthers also down multiple offensive linemen. They're not healthy at receiver. And the Patriots will get Christian Gonzalez back this week. So that's massive. Patriots defensive line should control the line of scrimmage. They're what? They're top 10 or second run block win rate. Like they're not the Panthers aren't gonna be able to run here. They're gonna be in passing downs. It's gonna be pressure on Young, and then there's gonna be mistakes. So I like the Patriots to bounce back here, get this win by at least a touchdown, have some bounces finally go their way this year. So yeah, give me New England laying the 5.5.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just go right into my next pick because this is actually kind of related to the Patriots, but so we'll talk about it there. But real quick, don't forget to upgrade to an Action Pro subscription. It is the only way to get real-time pick alerts from myself, Stuckey, NFL prop master Sean Turner, and our entire team of experts, plus all the tools you need to turn a profit betting this season, next season, and going forward. Right now, new subscribers get $20 off a year of Action Pro by visiting actionnetwork.com/pro and using code POD20, that's POD20, for $20 off the full year. So you'll be covered for the entire NFL season, college football, March Madness, baseball, NBA. So don't wait. Visit actionnetwork.com/pro. Use code POD20, POD20, to get $20 off a year of Action Pro. All right. For my second pick, fourth overall of the week 4 Sunday 6-pack, I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings -2.5 Dublin against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this is an overseas game, even though the Vikings are technically the road team.
Now you're on the Carson Wentz train, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's more that I'm off the Aaron Rodgers train. So this is what I wanted to talk about with the Patriots. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was not good last week. He hasn't been good all year, and the Patriots left multiple scores on the field. And if Aaron Rodgers gets down in a game, I think he's going to be completely terrible, because if you look at his numbers against pressure, they are completely terrible.
6 of 22.
What's up?
He's 6 of 22 under pressure.
Exactly. He can't get the ball out.
Worst QB in the league.
Yeah. So if you look at that Patriots game, it was probably the best case scenario for Rodgers. Like, they're sitting there, and every time the Patriots are about to go in and put some pressure on them, it's like, oh no, turnover, ha ha ha. I mean, even May threw a pretty bad interception, but this is the kind of thing that you have to, like, people are looking at the Steelers like, all right, yeah, they're going to win their 8-9 games. I think I even bet on their over, but at the end of the day, this is not a team that's very healthy right now. They're not playing good on defense, and you're going up against Brian Flores, who blitzes at the highest rate in the league. So Aaron Rodgers he struggles versus pressure, and he used to just tear up the blitz. He hasn't been good against the blitz either this year. I think that's what you're going to get out of 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Like that's where you would expect him to struggle. So a 27.4 PFF grade under pressure. That is the worst of 35 qualified quarterbacks. You already mentioned it, 6 of 22. And even that is misleading. He actually got 146 yards on those 6 completions, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So that's going to regress. I think more so than the completion rate is going to regress upward. He has he's top 7 in turnover worthy throw rate this year. So he's doing things that are just kind of uncharacteristic of him. The reason Rodgers was always so good, he didn't throw picks, and he would beat the blitz. Now he doesn't do either of those things. That's what the Vikings can do. And let's remember, Carson Wentz, I don't think he got tested at all, but you have a Viking team that they can get pressure. They can, if they get up in the game, they still have a running back in Mason that can do some damage. And they also get Jordan Addison back this week, which is a big upgrade for Wentz in their offense, because it looked like TJ Hockenson at least woke up last week. And so now you have a Steelers team that's been struggling to cover. Remember that Jets game. Remember that even the Seahawks game. And Patriots too. They were leaving guys open. So I think that this could be a disaster for the Steelers, especially if they don't get an early lead. So yeah, not very high on Wentz, but this is one of the coaching staffs that I do trust against, a Tomlin coach team that's just going to be, we're the dog, it's not a rah-rah spot, I don't think, going overseas. And the Vikings, they they might even have a little tiny bit of home field advantage. Not they really wanted to go out to these two Europe games. They did research and found out that they had like all this fans. So we'll see. But it could be a Jaguar situation emerging here. So
Oh, there'll be a lot of Steelers fans though too. There's Steelers fans everywhere.
yeah, I would think that's what I would think. But either way, I like the spot here for Minnesota. They are even with the McCarthy disasters, their metrics are still fine. You know, like they're not terrible at all. I mean, a lot of it was Cincinnati last week just turning the ball over, but yeah, Aaron Rodgers against pressure and the blitz. What is he going to do?
Yeah, I agree. I don't love the number, but I'm going to play this under a field goal. I mean, the Steelers should be 0-3. Let's
yeah,
be honest. And then this number would be over 3. Wentz is an upgrade over McCarthy, the current McCarthy. Wentz is an
right
upgrade.
now, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And Vikings get Addison back. They should get Kelly back. They got Darisaw back. Jackson
Yeah, didn't even mention that.
What's that?
No, I didn't even mention that. That's the Darisaw is the big one because you give O'Connell a left tackle and some receivers in a game where I don't think they're gonna have to play from behind a ton. Like it's not like the Darnold versus the Lions or the Rams even because those teams they can score. I don't think Pittsburgh's gonna be able to score here. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think
and they should be able to
left
run
tackle
it.
back is big.
Yeah, Jackson won't go, but Brandon will be in there. That'll be okay. But Jackson's been really good as a rookie for what it's worth. He looks like a player. Their left guard. They're pretty close to healthy on the defensive side, and the Steelers have a ton of injuries. I mean, maybe they'll get Elliott and Porter back. They practice today, but the other thing is the Steelers run the most predictable defense in the league. It's single high safety, middle of the field, closed 70% of the time, highest in the league by far. You want to know what the Vikings are at? 24, lowest in the league because they mix it up. O'Connell against the predictable defense, knowing what he's going to get with Addison back, and you can run the ball. This Steelers D line, outside of Hayward, who doesn't age, is not playing well. You can run on them. The whole defense is a mess right now. So yeah, I think they should be able to move the ball. I think they're going to win the line of scrimmage on both sides. And the weakness of this Minnesota defense right now is their run defense. It's not great, but the Steelers can't run the ball, and they don't have a quarterback who can't move. So what does that mean? Like you alluded to, that means obvious passing situations. Flores bringing pressure, and the Steelers are 31st in pass block win rate on offense. They're not going to be able to block Minnesota, and Rodgers has been the worst quarterback in the league under pressure this year against a team that's top 3 in generating pressure that'll blitz a ton. There's no recourse here. So unless there's voodoo, and this the Steelers team that just got 5 turnovers. They got the key turnover against the Jets. Like maybe it'll just keep happening, but I think the Vikings get done. There's a lot of matchup advantages here, and then a lot of from the health report, a lot of things that favor Minnesota. So I think the Vikings get it done.
Oh yeah, the Steelers. Hold on, I make sure I got this right. I wanted to mention this. Yeah, the Steelers. Yeah, the Steelers have not lost a fumble yet this year, and their opponents have lost 5. So what does that mean? They recovered.
They recovered all 5, I think.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, that's like they should have at least 2-3 turnovers, if not more, and that could be like they needed. They won by 1 score against a New England team that turned it over 5 times with that.
They still had the ball,
offense.
the chance to win late.
Yeah, exactly. It's not gonna be pretty. They haven't had 21st downs in a game yet.
And yeah, Jets turned it over on the kickoff late. So yeah, there's problems in Pittsburgh right now. I like the Vikings to get it done. All right, for my third pick and the 5th overall, the Week 4 Sunday 6-pack, I'm going with the Las Vegas Raiders -1 at home against the Chicago Bears. I thought about the Saints. I didn't want to do that to you guys. I think it's just too many points. Like there again, the Saints coming off a 30+ point loss. It wasn't that bad. Like success down the down, it was not bad. Rattler's been fine, and like they're 16th in success rate, non-garbage time, 13th passing success rate, 20th in success rate overall. Like the offense is okay. Their run D's top 10. It's been top 10 this year. So what's most likely to happen? Like the Bills get a lead, they're just going to run it. You're not going to run Allen here. The Saints run D can hold up, and they can move the ball. I don't know the status of Milano and Oliver, but The Saints could get healthier in the offensive line. They're high tempo, which is a bit concerning, and the spot isn't great coming across the country with the Bills and extended rest. But it's too many points. Like in order to want to win by 17 plus, the Bill like everything has to go right. The Bills have to really care and be engaged, and like they're just take the air out of the ball eventually. Um, and like the Bills' defense has not been good this year. I think the Saints they have weapons. They can move the ball enough here. Would you agree
Probably
with
an
me?
over. It's probably an over too, because the one thing with Rattler and the reason why the spread is probably even so large to begin with is leads the league in turnover worthy throws with 8. That's like a what is that? A rate of no, second in the league. Sorry, Dak Prescott leads the league, but yeah, his turnover worthy throw rate is super high, and I think that's kind of the issue here with him. Oh no,
Also, by the way,
yeah, he does lead the league. He does lead the league with 8. Sorry.
I should throw in. I like the Cardinals on Thursday night. They need to get their offensive line, defensive backfield injuries. Seattle is defensive injuries. The injury report's going to be big today, but play calling for the Cardinals has been a little iffy. But
Yes, yes,
throw to
yes.
your
But they left
receivers,
points on the field.
throw to your receivers, throw downfield. They're checking down everything. Maybe it's just
Kyler Short.
offensive line injuries, but Dortch is back. Dortch, baby. Uh,
Say you got
I
rolled
like the
out.
Cardinals. I think they should be favored here, regardless of all the injuries. But so I'll probably play that on Thursday Night Football. But getting back to my original bet of the Raiders -1, I think this is a good buy low spot on the Raiders. Geno Smith historically been really good indoors. This Bears defense is still a mess. Like that's what it comes down to. I don't think Gordon and Edwards are going to play, or they're going to be limited if they do. They're already without Johnson. They can't get pressure. They can't stop the run. Like the Raiders' offense has been a mess because their offensive line is a mess. I don't know what Brennan Carroll's doing. Like this the Nepo hire. Why is Powers Johnson not playing center and Meredith playing guard? Why are they playing Alex Kappa? He's the worst guard in the league, and Powers Johnson is just a healthy scratch. I don't under their offensive line is a disaster as a result. They can't block. It's a disaster. But against the Bears, that's not as big of an issue because the Bears aren't generating any pressure. They can't stop the run. They're not healthy on the back end. Like Geno should be able to cook here. They're gonna have advantages all over on the outside. So Browers will continue to get healthier with each passing week. I don't think they have anyone who can cover him. So, and this Bears off, and you got to remember the Bears defense played better last week. The Cowboys had offensive line injuries, and they lost CeeDee Lamb like early in the game. That changed the entire complexion. That was one of the reasons I played the Bears, but was really worried. I was like, all right, well, they got Lamb and Pickens against this beat up secondary of backup corners. So that's not going to be the case this week. I like the Raiders to get it done at home. The Bears offense, it's Caleb Williams looked better last week. Johnson's eventually going to get figured out, but it's still going to take time. And this defense isn't great, but they can stop the run. They can get some pressure here. They're going to make Williams move it down the field, take away the explosive, and he's still not all the way there yet with consistency as far as accuracy. And there's just going to be too many missed throws. And I think that the Raiders won't have any issue moving the ball. So. Yeah, I'm gonna buy low on the Raiders here at home. Curious to get your thoughts on this one.
So my answer to your question is Pete Carroll. Yeah, I'm starting to notice, there's kind of this point where, we've talked about before, Belichick and the trends and Tomlin and Carroll, but there's a point where these guys just, you got to take them out back like old Yeller. Like they get past this point where like these new younger guys are just kind of running circles around them because Pete Carroll, let's remember, was the same coach who, 4 weeks ago, wanted to sign Amari Cooper, who would have just taken snaps away from Trey Tucker, who is like balling out right now. And coming into last week, Carroll was like, I don't know. I'm not putting it on Geno. I just want to understand why we're throwing downfield there. Like we need to take, and it's like, oh, so then they don't do anything until they start throwing downfield to Tucker. Like I think Pete Carroll just a little bit, maybe Chip Kelly is contributing, but I just think there's a little bit of a disconnect between what they think works and what actually works. But I'm with you on the buy lows, but I think Geno's been playing well. I think they have enough on offense, and with the Bears and Caleb, you're going to get some mistakes. If you're not Dallas, so. Yeah, but that's kind of my worry is that it just kind of Carroll has just kind of lost touch a little bit, and so you never really know what kind of stupidness they might cook up to do on each individual week. But it's kind of a head scratching thing, but that's the best I can explain it because I think Geno's played well and Tucker's played a lot better than expected. They had and somehow they're just not
Last
producing.
week was about special teams was a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, yeah, and they're giving up explode. I mean, something's a little off with them because I think they're playing below their talent level, and given the veteran coaching staff, you would think that wouldn't be the case. So yeah, something's a little off with them. But yeah, I agree. Bravo spot. They could have it could have been a lot closer versus the Chargers in week 2 as well. And they stole one against the Patriots in week 1, but
They're trying to go downfield and hit
yeah.
explosives a lot. You can do that against the Bears. It was probably a mistake against the Chargers to try, and they were just trying way too hard, and the Chargers aren't going to give you that much. But this is a spot where Geno's going to see a ton of man coverage, and they're going to have a ton of advantages that he can cook here. So, yeah, that's my third pick. Where are you going for the final pick?
For my third and final pick, the 6th overall of the week 4 Sunday 6-pack, I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars plus 3.5 at San Francisco. And I kind of flip flop back and forth because I really think
Now you're back on my Jags. Look at this 180 from you in one
I know,
week.
right?
Back on the,
I mean,
you faded the Jags last week. Now you're on the Jags. You faded the Vikings. You're on the Vikings. And who was your other last week? I know the Giants. You didn't fade the Giants last week. You're back on your Giants.
yeah, no, but I mean the Jaguars. To be fair, they gave Houston numerous chances to win that game. It wasn't like
they tried to jag it.
Yeah, they tried to jag it, but in this spot, I think it's really interesting because as we record this Wednesday, I guess Purdy is they're saying he's coming back, but and then Mac Jones also got a little banged up. So now you're dealing with no Bosa, no Kittle, 2 quarterbacks we don't really know because remember they had some weirdness going on last. Was it last year? Or either in one of these 2 years, I think it was last year. It might have been the year before. But when Purdy had like a concussion, and then they just kind of he played like through it, but it was terrible. So I don't really know. I don't trust San Francisco with injury reports either. But they're starting to get decimated again. And I thought they were kind of undervalued because it was mostly backups that were going down, heading into the year. But now you lose Bosa, you lose Kittle. You still Jennings is banged up again.
He didn't practice today. Neither did Pearsall with a knee.
That's right, because he's going to have to catch 80 balls this week. So I just want to buy.
Their corners are banged up too. There's some injuries there.
Yeah, and I really just want to buy low on this Jags team in a spot for San Francisco where we've kind of seen them. We've talked about this. This is kind of the year where they under the radar, no expectations. They usually go to the Super Bowl in these kind of years, but 3-0, it's kind of tough to keep it up. And if you look at the Jags, they had their strength of schedule not great. But the one thing about the Jags,
neither is the 49ers.
Yeah, exactly. But the one thing about the Jags is Liam Cohen's offense has been on schedule, and he's being let down by Brian Thomas Jr. And
the offense has been amazing. The protection, the runs,
right?
They just have drops and
yeah.
It's unbelievable. The offense,
Trevor Lawrence.
The defense looks great too. The defense is so much better. They get pressure, they stop the run. The back end, they're playing coverages that better suit their personnel. Their defense looks really good. Granted, they haven't played the best schedule, but neither are the 49ers.
And then the guy who might have lost them a game on defense is Travis Hunter. Like all their best players are letting them down. But that's a good buy low spot. Trevor Lawrence, this stat is pretty nuts. Through 3 weeks, he has 13 drop passes, leading the league by 17% drop pass rate. That is like next highest is 11%. It's hard to get past double digits once you're past like 1 or 2 games. So 17%, and this might just be some Trevor Lawrence shit, but 0 big time throws on 113 attempts. So something has to give here. I just think the Jags have too much talent, and they're underlying like the play call. Everything that's we thought would happen that would help them out is kind of happening. Their play calling is getting better. The guys are getting open, but it's just inexplicable drops. But they're leaving so many points on the field. And then they had that weird sequence where they got too conservative and then too aggressive against the Bengals, and so like there's just a bunch of kind of variance happening or just weird stuff happening with the Jags where I think people are going to be surprised that I think the Jags are going to be able to hang here because San Francisco. This is the time where I draw the line and say, okay, like Bosa now that kind of compromises what you want to do defensively. You're already banged up on defense. Your corners have issues against two receivers that should pick it up. I like that they put in. I guess Brown was hurt, but they put in Washington, and I thought he might give him something different than Brown. So I think there's just a lot of unrealized upside with this Jags team. Whereas the Niners could have lost to Arizona. Uh, Even that New Orleans game, I think
Arizona catches a wide open pass.
yeah, exactly. So, but that's
and
what Arizona
Arizona's
does.
playing without all of their defensive backs.
Yeah, that's why I bet the Niners early in the week. Yeah.
I don't trust the San Fran team to get margin. If Purdy plays, he might not be 100% healthy. He might not be able to push off. He's not going to have all of his weapons. Uh, like he's going to be under pressure. This Jags team can generate pressure, and like the defensive scheme is much better. So yeah, anything over a field goal I like. It's also worth noting that the 49ers have been the worst team in the league in kickoff coverage. They've been miserable. They have not figured that out. Shocker, the 49ers special teams is a mess. Like teams are starting on average at the 49ers 34-yard line, which is the highest in the league. You know who does have to figure it out? The Rams. Teams got to start with these line drive
Yep.
duck balls.
Yep. That's why they got Bigsby. The Eagles got Bigsby not to play any running back, just completely and Mechie, both of those guys.
And they couldn't even pick up the ball. They were starting at like the 12 every drive. The Falcons have also done a good job in that front. And the Giants too. So but the 49ers, like the Jags could have really good field position here as well. But yeah, I think anything over a field goal you got to take with the current. Like I just don't trust the current state of this Niners team to win by margin.
Yeah. I think the quarterback situation, like this could be. We're sitting here Friday, and they're like, "Oh, we got to start like Adrian Martinez or something." Like you never know with the Niners. So yeah,
and they are 3-0, so like they can be a little more cautious, right? Like to not
Rams week on deck, right? No,
Yeah.
Rams week on deck. Yep. Looking at
All right,
what
what do we
ahead.
got?
So we got
And the Rams game's on Thursday night.
What's up?
And the Rams game's on Thursday night.
Yeah. So this is a great kind of look ahead there. But that was our week 4 Sunday six pack. So we got you got the Falcons and Penix home dog. The Penix, May, and Geno Smith. Interesting. Interesting. Like two young guys and then Geno. I got Carson Wentz, Trevor Lawrence, all the Doug Peterson retreads, and Dart, baby. I wish I just had 3 darts because it's
Wentz, Lawrence, Dart, Penix, May, and Smith. Oof. That's how we like it. We're back to our roots.
Yeah, man. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for our week 4 Sunday 6-pack.